Black man, when the world takes disrespect directed at you more seriously than you do, something is clearly wrong.
Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, Eaststeam: The Sands of Time. It's action and adventure in ancient Egypt in this terrific teen time travel romance. Get your copy of Eaststeam: The Sands of Time at your favorite online bookseller today.
Black men have a problem with understanding when they're being disrespected by black women and women of other races. Now, recently, there was a story in the news of a woman named Iana who decided to post a video of herself at the Fontaines restaurant in Atlanta ordering 4 plates of 48 oysters on a first date with a man. And as she was sitting there slurping up all 48 of these oysters on this first date, this is where her date excused himself to the bathroom and decided to leave this date, which was one where he was basically humiliated and emasculated by this disrespectful woman. Now, some on social media wanted to say that this entire incident was a skit, but what was going on in that video was no joke when it came down to the intangible of black men's respect. And one of the big problems I have seen with many black men out here on social media is that they don't understand how important the intangible of respect is as related to any social interaction that you have with a woman. Because when it comes to your social interactions with women, you have to be able to read whether or not this woman respects you. And from what I have seen in viral videos like this one and the one with the pathetic dude who was out here sitting in that restaurant for over an hour waiting for a woman who stood him up, is that black men in general have a major problem as related to understanding what the concept of respect is. Because respect is something that you are supposed to insist that you receive from the beginning of your first social contact. And in your first social contact with a woman, if she does not show you respect, that is where you wind up charging that woman to the game as related to any other social contact. Because your respect is the first thing you need to see before you even further look to pursue any further involvement with any woman. Unfortunately, many brothers out here, they cannot read the concept of respect from women because they have a perception of every woman being just like their mothers. And because many brothers out here come from single mother households, they oftentimes elevate black women and non-black women to high pedestal places, and in that high pedestal place, what they go out here and think is every woman is just gonna be like mama. Unfortunately, every woman out here isn't like mama, and you have to be able to learn how to read the verbal and nonverbal cues to understand when you are being disrespected in the initial contact with that woman. Because if you don't know how to read those body language and facial expressions or those verbal and nonverbal cues this woman is giving you, you're going to be in a place where you either wind up at the minimum being humiliated like the simp who got stood up in that viral TikTok video, or you're going to wind up being taken advantage of like the guy in the viral video with the oysters. And in some extreme cases, you may wind up getting set up for a robbery or even a murder, depending on what type of woman you're out here with. So it's important for you to understand how to read a woman as you're getting involved with her and read the vibe as related to respect. Because if you cannot read the vibe as related to respect, you're going to be wasting one of the most important intangibles as related to life, and that is time. And there are women out here who will go out here and waste your time, like this woman who calls herself I believe she calls herself some sort of Uniqua or something like that. No, her name is Iana. This woman named Iana will waste your time all because she is bored and wants to get attention. And because these women will sit there and believe that they can waste your time, they believe that they, again, are just having their fun passively, but aggressively what they're doing is disrespecting you, because when it comes to women, if you allow them to go out here and waste your time, you are basically saying that you are not somebody worthy of respect. And this is one of the big problems that a lot of black men have as related to relationships, is they don't understand their value as men. And because they don't understand their value as men, they don't understand the most valuable intangible out here is your time. And you don't waste time with people who do not show you respect from minute one. And what happened here with Iana is basically she saw this man as somebody she did not respect, and that was shown in the early part of her video at the Fontaines restaurant where she was on the way there. She basically showed how little respect for this man that she had, because she was sitting there talking about how she was texting this man for an extended period of time, very similar to what happened with the dude who got stood up in the other viral TikTok video. Basically, both of these women had no respect for these men at all and were sitting there just going through the motions. And as they were going through the motions, they sat there wasting these guys' time, stringing them along, making them think that they had a chance. But neither of these dudes, because they were raised properly, understood that they had no chance at all. And in the case of the dude who went to the Fontaines restaurant in Atlanta, what happened with him is he was so thirsty that he just kept texting this woman, not understanding that if she doesn't want to go out here and get with you on the first contact after you've connected with her in a personal situation, then clearly she's not interested in you, and constant text back and forth with her are just things that she's doing to sate her ego. And she's doing these things to basically sate her ego because she's got more important dudes that she actively wants to physically be involved with. And she is directly contacting them, not with a text message, but she's out here calling those guys and talking to them and arranging a meeting with those guys almost immediately. So basically, this dude, he didn't understand the first foundation of disrespect is that if this woman respected you, one, she would value your time, and she would value your time to go out here and try to clear her schedule to immediately go out here and be with you. But if she's out here making text messages and going back and forth with you, then clearly you are not an important person on her rotation, and she's oftentimes got more than one guy on the rotation. So you have to understand that this person clearly isn't interested in you, and you need to charge her to the game if she's looking to keep going back and forth with you. Now, this dude, again, because he was so thirsty, he went out here and he was continuing to text this woman, and eventually he got a chance to go meet with this woman, not understanding that he was never going to make a strong first impression on this woman, who never really cared about him. Iana never cared about him. No, she saw him as an easy opportunity to go get herself a free meal and a free drink. And that's what she did at Fontaines restaurant, where she again on the way there expressed her contempt for that man. And as she expressed her contempt for that man, then she went out here and participated in passive-aggressive behavior by going out here and not only ordering a plate of oysters that was on sale over there, but ordered 4 plates of oysters. Again, she was passively on the date, but aggressively expressing contempt for this guy by ordering those 48 oysters. And what she wanted to do was go out here and see if she could get this simp to go out here and pay for all of this expensive meal and get a good laugh at him. Now, that's where a lot of people on social media want to say that this is a skit, but it's no joke when black men are being disrespected. And one of the big problems with black men out here is that they go out here and take disrespect as a joke, not understanding that if you take disrespect as a joke, what's going to happen is all you're doing is motivating this woman to continue expressing her contempt for you. Because a lot of times when it comes to black women and non-black women, they feel powerless in the presence of men. So what they do is express their contempt for a dude in a passive-aggressive way. And what they will do is go out here and take a dig at a dude and then try to make it something like a joke. But it's no joke what's happening to you. What this woman is doing is disrespecting you directly to your face. And as she's disrespecting you straight to your face, a lot of guys can't read the situation. And because they can't read the situation, they let the disrespect go by and give it a pass, not understanding you just opened the door for you to be disrespected over the course of that relationship. So what's happening with a lot of brothers out here is that they don't understand that the foundation you started with this woman was never positive, and you continuing to pursue this woman, what it's doing is putting you in a situation where you're guaranteed to lose because you don't have the foundation for a relationship, and that foundation is respect. And if she's coming to approach you from the beginning with disrespect, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get more disrespect, because how you start in a relationship with a woman is how you end up with her. And what happened here with this Iana at the Fontaines restaurant was just an escalation of the disrespect that this guy received. But what's really sad is that many black men on social media saw it as some sort of skit, not seeing how it was no joke, how they were being disrespected. Because when you have multiple news outlets like Newsweek and The Independent, and now even the Today Show, going out here and reporting on how egregious this woman's behavior is, it shows how the entire world takes the disrespect directed at black men more seriously than black men. And that's the whole sad part of this whole incident, is that you've got mainstream media outlets like the Today Show, the New York Post, Rolling Stone, the Independent, and many others seeing the disrespect directed at you, black man. And sadly, many black men don't see how they're being disrespected and don't see how this disrespect directed at them is not a joke. Because when you have a woman who just expresses so much contempt for a guy that she goes out on a date with someone she doesn't like, and then has the audacity to go out here and order 48 oysters in the first date, that is an extreme expression of contempt. And it's an extreme expression of contempt that this dude just didn't see until the oysters came to his table. And that sadly happened because this guy didn't possibly have a father in his life to teach him about the foundations of respect, or teach him how to read women to understand when you're being disrespected on the first contact. This was something that I learned because I believe I had a father and a brother in my life who had relationships, and I also learned by observation but when I was out here when I was a teenager at Park West High School. And when I was out at Park West High School, there were girls who made it look like they were interested in me. And as I was sitting there talking to them, this is where I started to pick up on the nonverbal cues and the vibe that they were giving. And as I was picking up on those nonverbal cues and the vibe that they were giving me, I understood when I was being disrespected, and I understood to listen to the tone of their voice and listen to the things that they're saying and how they were saying it. And that was the thing that let me know, okay, this is one I do not engage with, because while she's saying she liked me, she's not expressing the respect that would show me that she is actually interested. And in many cases, what she's doing is trying to go out here and try to feel a dude out. And that's what happened with this dude who went to the Fontaines restaurant. He couldn't read the woman to see that she was just feeling him out. And in a lot of cases, when women try to feel you out, what they will do is even go to the extent of giving you their phone number. Again, they're still trying to feel you out and still trying to assess whether or not she want to get with you seriously. But in the back of her mind, she already has dismissed you because she has no respect for you. Again, when a woman has respect for you, she is going to approach you from a position of strength where she sees respect and wants to give you respect because she values you enough that she wants to invest time with you. And if she wants to really invest time with you, she's going to start talking about things that she could do to meet with you later on, because she wants to have her be in your physical presence, and she will definitely try to do things to be in your physical presence again. And again, when it comes to a lot of black men, they can't read a situation. And because they can't read a situation, what happens is they think that because this woman is paying attention to them, that she really is interested. But no, she's not interested at all. And when she shows that she's not interested at all with her nonverbal cues and the way or the things that she talks about, what she's showing is that she's not interested and basically going through the motions. And that's where you have to, in your mind, go out here and charge that woman to the game, because the most important intangible for you is your time. And your time is something you can't get back, because your time is something that is something finite in this life. And as a man, you have to understand to value your time and only invest time in those who are genuinely interested in spending time with you. And part of understanding who to invest your time in is, again, learning how to read people. And when you learn how to read people, that's when you know that somebody either has a genuine interest or if someone is out here looking to waste your time. And again, women who do not respect you will again look to waste your time. And again, they waste your time because they have no respect for you, and they basically see you as someone they do not regard or value. So you have to go and guard your time, and you cannot take the behaviors they take as a joke, because if you take them as a joke, they basically are taking you very seriously. They are taking it seriously, the contempt they're expressing for you. So you have to understand that the way you take your respect is by going out here and taking the time to assess this woman, take the time to listen to what she's saying, take the time to hear how she's saying it, listen to her tone, look at her body language, look at the way she's standing with you. I mean, I did all of this stuff instinctively at 14 years old, and I used to do it all the time, and I would be able to vet individuals who I clearly saw as wasting my time. And I had a lot of people on my case talking about, oh, you need to have a girlfriend, but if you want to get involved with women, you have to know how to read people, and you have to know how to read people because it's not a joke out here when black men don't know when they're being disrespected. I mean, you have to know when you're being disrespected, because when these women go out here and try to play cute, like, oh, it's a joke or it's a skit, what they're doing is looking to deflect from being held accountable. But you as a man have to go out here and hold that woman accountable, because that shows you're coming from a position of strength, and it shows that you are a man who is a leader, who is not going to go out here and allow her to get a pass for any behavior. And you're going to be one who's going to set boundaries for that woman, and you're going to set a standard for how you're going to be treated from minute one. That's what a man does when he's out here with women. He sets a standard for himself from minute one, and he doesn't take any mess from any of these women who will look to go out here and test your boundaries, but you have to remain consistent as related to your boundaries. And the first boundary a man has as related to any social interaction with a woman or a man is his respect, and he will take his respect when he's in a situation with someone in a very quiet way. A man, when he takes his respect, takes himself away from a toxic woman like this Iana. And sadly, this guy, he finally figured it out after she got the 4 plates of oysters, but I would have figured it out from the first social meeting when I'm listening to the way this woman is talking to me. When I listen to the way this woman is talking to me, I'm picking up on things, and I'm also looking at her body language. Is she leaning into me, which shows interest? Is she touching me? That shows interest. And again, that may be a possible reason for me to, again, take her number, but I'm not really investing anything because I'm still approaching from indifference. And after I make, a first call or a text message, and I see that she's not looking to engage any further, that's where I put the period at the end of things, because I understand she's not really interested. And again, a lot of guys, especially black men, don't really read women very well. And because they don't read women very well, they wind up in situations like this. And what's even sadder is they don't see how they're being disrespected, and they don't see how they're being disrespected. And it's really, again, sad. You've got mainstream media outlets who can see how you're being disrespected, but you can't take your respect because you don't know how to move like a man. And again, a man moves very differently in this world. And one of the ways he moves in this world, because it's all part of his survival, is studying and reading people. Because studying and reading people is important. You got to read facial expressions. You got to read body language. You got to read vibes and energy. You got to be able to read this stuff, because if you can't read it, what will happen is these women will go out here and write an epitaph as related to you, where they look to express their contempt for you. And if they get to extreme cases, these are the same women who will go out here and set you up for a robbery or set you up for a murder. And then as they're burying your body, these are the women who squat down and go out here and pee on your grave, because they never had respect for you. And you've got to learn about respect so that you don't wind up getting involved with one of these female predators. So when it comes to black men, this whole situation in this viral video basically shows a lot of brothers out here. We got to learn what respect is, and we got to learn how to take our respect before we go out here looking to give these women the world, like this dude did at the Fontaines restaurant. Because when we go out here and try to give somebody the world that doesn't respect us, all we get is contempt in return. And sadly, we've got too many brothers out here who think a codependent relationship is better than no relationship. But as I see it, it's better for me to be alone with my respect, than to be in a toxic relationship or even a toxic date with a female predator. Now, if you want to learn how to identify the behaviors of female predators, like what was presented in this video by Iana, who ordered 48 oysters, and avoid dealing with a female predator like this, you can pick up my book, Stop Simpin', Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can also pick up Stop Simpin', Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Target. And if you want to see me do more videos talking about the world of relationships and dating, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella. Discover the dark side of love in this goth and lovely romance with Spinsterella. Get Spinsterella in paperback and e-readers at your favorite online bookseller today.